talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball!
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
I'm like so speechless right now, dude. I don't even know how to open this show. Like this fucking team, dude, is just so pissing me off lately. You've had numerous winnable games in the last couple weeks, and this is like the fourth straight series loss. Where, again, you could have won the game. They could have won the game today. And we're going to talk about all the factors that made them lose today. But, like, Rob Thompson, you cannot manage a game lately to save your life, dude. Some of the decisions lately that he has made are very, very questionable. And we're going to get into that in a few minutes because I'm just going to go on to a straight rant sesh on the show today. But Eric here with the 302 Birds post-game show, and just what I don't understand. I don't comprehend why this team is just ass. They're ass, Dolt. They're so bad. I told you before the show, knock on wood, this is starting to look like the Eagles last season. Come off strong, and then once you hit the bye week, once you hit that one game where it just all crumbles, which I think for the Eagles, it was the 49ers game, like everything just shits to bed. And it just like comparing them to the Eagles, it just seems like the Phillies just don't have it. They don't.
Yeah, and for you guys who are listening, I love how Shard said knock on wood. I made sure, guys, thankfully, I made sure we got him to knock on wood because I know how much it pains Eric to say that too. Like, he takes no joy in saying that, just like me. But as Philly fans, we're going to hold our teams accountable. And it does, I told him his take was more than valid. It makes sense. The Phillies are their own worst enemy right now. They're shooting themselves in the foot with these games that they should be winning. And I just don't want to see another second half season collapse. Like a team like the Guardians, even though they're the second best team, I think it is in the NL right now or something.
The AL. Or they're
AL,
the second best team in the MLB, first best in the AL. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah, so they're a legit team. But you can look on paper, you can look throughout the year and clearly see that the Phillies are a better team. You know what I mean? Like, they should have won that series. They should have made sure at home that they came out and got this W. And they didn't. And as a fan, that's frustrating because you see what Schwarber does today, which I'm sure we'll get to in a few minutes, and all of that. But it's like, you can't ask one guy to carry the whole team. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. And it's just like, and I'm going to talk about this in a few minutes. I'm looking at the comments. I'll put it up here in a few minutes. But just like, you can't, like you just said, you can't rely on one guy to carry the whole team. And honestly, I see you laughing at the comment.
Your brother, yeah. We can't put that on screen, but we also can't say we disagree, Ryan.
I'm not going to put that on screen just because of the wording. But if you want to retype that with different wording, go ahead and we'll put it up. But like, I'm
strategic, smart about it. I like it.
But anyway, yeah, like this team lately just seems like, it's long ball or nothing the last couple games. Like yesterday, for example, granted they got 8 runs, but each one of those runs was home runs. They could not hit small ball to save their life. No singles, no doubles, just nothing. I'm looking here at, their batting. Schwarber was the only one to get runs. They walked a couple times, but other than that, they left runners in scoring position. And I guess that'll be the first topic we talk about. But again, Kyle tried today. For those of you that didn't know, it was a giveaway night tonight. They gave out a Schwarber towel, and Schwarber went off. He had 2 home runs. He scored 3 runs. But again, he's the only one today to have runs. Going through the entire, and this is just typical past couple games, but they just look like shit. Schwarber, 2 for 4, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, good for him. Turner, 0 for 5. Harper, which I want to talk about Harper in a second, 0 for 3. Bohm, 0 for 2. Caskey, 0 for 4. Hayes, I'm going to talk about him in a second, 0 for 4. Sosa, 1 for 3. Stott came in a pinch hit, 0 for 1. Marsh, 1 for 4. Stubbs, 1 for 3. The one thing I wanted to talk about Harper, though, was, and you can look at it on Twitter, he hit a foul ball, and it was like a perfect pitch where if he just got a little bit more under it, it would have been a home run. And you could just hear him in the background twice scream, fuck, so loud that Tom and Kruk were just looking at each other in the booth like, what did he say? But it was funny. I just this team needs to learn, and Kevin Long needs to teach this team how to hit the long or the short ball. Sorry. All they're hitting is a long ball. They're swinging at shit that they shouldn't be swinging at. Even JT, right? They interviewed JT, I believe, in the 3rd or 4th inning. And he was like, yeah, when I was out, I was sitting on the couch and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why are you swinging at this? So even your players realize that your team is swinging at bullshit. Doesn't matter what the umps are doing. Granted, I know that Drake the other night was not the best ump. He was absolutely shit. But you can't blame it on the umps when you're sitting here swinging at bullshit. For example, Nick Castellanos, 0-2 count. You know he's going to get out when the pitcher throws a slider to the outside corner. Because, every time they throw a slider to the outside corner and Nick swings. We as fans know it, that he's going to get out. Nick doesn't realize it yet. So it's just it pisses me off. And I don't think Hayes is the answer that you needed. I don't think he's the needle that's going to push this team over the edge. Granted, this is only his 2nd game that he started. So it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment period. Kind of when Turner came, they needed to give him a standing ovation to get started. I don't think Hayes is the answer. I really don't. The guy that they traded for yesterday, the closer, he won't get here. I think they said until tonight, and they're sending Hoffman to pick them up because they were, I think, college teammates or something like that. So, the vibes are there with that guy, but you gotta figure this shit out because we start playing the Yankees tomorrow. And personally, I'm going to say it. I think we're going to get swept by the Yankees. You got Aaron Judge and Juan Soto in that lineup. And I don't see a universe that the Phillies come out of that winning that series. I think we're going to lose 5 series straight.
Yeah, I like what you said about the chemistry too. I didn't know that. So I think it's good that the Phillies are investing in, it sounds like they're listening to what the players want, but you're only going to get so much leeway when you can do your job. Like Shard said, you can only blame the umpires so much. At some point, they got to have discipline at the plate. Just go back to the basics. I think that some days the Phillies get a little bit too excited and maybe try to do a little bit too much. And they forget that this team, if everybody just does what they're supposed to do, 8 days out of 10, 9 days out of 10, they're going to win the game. So you may lose some of them, but you don't need to be that hero every time because you have so many guys that can be the hero, especially now with the daycare and Alec Bohm specifically developing. So it's frustrating. I get your point, man, because there's a lot of hero ball going on right now, it feels like, and it's like, for what? You know what I mean? It's like, just play baseball, be smart, don't swing at stupid shit, and just make it into the postseason with that 1 seed. And please, for God's sake, don't swing at stupid shit in the postseason either.
Yeah, and even they were talking about it on the broadcast after the game. The Phillies were projected to win. I think they said at the beginning of the season, like 110, 115. Then it was like 105. Now it's like 97. It just keeps going down because they just suck. And looking at the standings here, I think the Braves beat the Mets. Yeah, they beat the Mets. So looking at the standings, I want to see how many games up we are right now. 8.5 games. So I mean, like, we're still hovering between 8 and 10 games. That's how it's been for the past couple weeks. But it's like, if you can't figure this shit out, the Braves are going to take the division again, or even the Mets, because the Mets for 24 hours they were in second place. So just it's irritating. It's pissing me off. The Phillies can win these games, and they just are shitting the bed. So I also want to talk about this because Ryan, you said Soto was ass earlier on Discord. So don't try to hide your mistakes. But going into pitching, the one thing I want to talk about is Allard. Ranger Suarez is out on the 15-day IL with lower back tightness, and they called up Allard from AAA. He's pitched for us before. The start of the game was a rookie for the Cleveland Guardians against Allard, and Allard just didn't have it. Granted, he went 5 innings pitched, only let up 3 runs. I just don't think that he's the answer we need right now. I think you need to do an entire pitching staff overhaul, whether that's moving, which Strom has done it before. He started games. I think you have to have Strom start a game or two. I don't know. Allard goes 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs. Only struck out 1, let up 1 home run. His ERA was a 6.75, which is absolute dog shit. Soto's been pretty solid lately. Went 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout. ERA is 3.41. Kerkering, I was kind of nervous about because the last time he went out, he blew the game, but he was again solid today too. 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, no runs. We'll get to Alvarado in a second because that's going to be a whole topic that I want to talk about here in a second. Hoffman and Strom, they're both all-stars. They went out and pitched dominant too for their outings, but just like I don't know. I know Dave said that he was done with trades. They're kind of content on where they're at. I don't agree with that. I don't. And maybe it's a smokescreen saying that you're not going to go out and trade for another person. I think right now, especially with all the injuries, I mean, you don't have Taijuan Walker. You don't have Turnbull. Ranger just went on the IL. Wheeler just got off the IL. He could, knock on wood, very well go back. It's like you need to trade for another starting pitcher, in my opinion. Someone that can fill in when these injuries occur and take the mantle. Because, like, just this team, starting pitching-wise, has not looked the same since the All-Star break. And, yeah, I don't think Allard was the right call-up from AAA. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know much about the guy, so I'm not even going to speak on it. I know that obviously they've been struggling in that department, so hopefully they can get it together, but we'll see.
I'm glad, like, Phillips got called up and that worked out, especially yesterday, but it's just like, you kind of have to pick and choose who you call it from AAA. Mercado, he didn't work out. Allard, I don't think he's going to work out. You got some pretty decent prospects down in AAA that you can call up and give them a shot and see what happens. You don't know until you try, but just I don't agree. But the one thing I want to talk about that's pissing me the fuck off, Rob Thompson, dude, we as fans could probably manage a better game than you. Jose Alvarado blows another fucking game. I can't stand this dude this season. It seems like every time he goes out, it's either, I'm going to strike out 3 guys back to back, or I'm going to strike out the first 2 and then let up a run on the third one. He goes 1 inning pitch today, lets up 1 hit for a home run, The Guardians get the lead in a tied game, 4-3. And it's just like his ERA right now is a 4.25, but it's like Jose he throws so hard, and I've said this before, he hopes that people swing. He got the first two guys by doing that, but the third guy wasn't, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, whatever the fuck the saying is. I can't even think about it right now. But just I don't like Jose coming into situations where it's that close. You shouldn't have used Jose in a situation that close. And I don't agree with it. I don't like it. The last couple games he's looked fine. July 19th against the Pirates, he gave up 2 runs. The game before that versus the Athletics, he gave up a run. So it's like he'll give up a run or two, then he'll be fine, then he'll give up another run. But I don't know. I don't think he has it. I don't like the way he pitches. And I'm sure you guys can hate in the comments, whatever. But I know I'm talking in circles here. I just don't like it. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every time I watch the guy, he doesn't do well. Now, obviously, I'm not an everyday watcher of the Phillies, but that says a lot because there are some things too that when I watch, they go well too. So I don't know. Same thing kind of that I said earlier. Hopefully they figure it out in that department. I haven't been keeping a close keen eye on the Phillies pitching just because I've been kind of disconnected from it. But yeah, your brother's comments are just making me laugh in the chat. But yeah, hopefully he gets it together.
Yeah, I mean, like you said here, hopefully this new guy is better than Jose. I think he will be. Looking at what he's been able to do, he's had some pretty good outings lately. We talked about it last night, so if you guys want to see that, go watch yesterday's live. But I think he'll be a decent closer. And like I said earlier, I mean, he already has those vibes with Hoffman. So I think he'll be a good fit. I really do. But going into the next topic and the last topic, we're going to go ahead and start closing it out. This is their 4th straight series loss. They lost against the Athletics before the All-Star break. They lost against the Pirates. They lost against the Minnesota Twins. And now against the Guardians. It's their 4th straight. And like I said earlier, they go on to play the Yankees, I believe, starting tomorrow. Yeah, they play the Yankees at home starting tomorrow. And they have Juan Soto, they have Aaron Judge, they have some pretty decent hitters and some pretty decent pitching. They just picked up Jazz Chisholm from the Marlins. I believe it was yesterday. So it's like you have a division rival player going to a team you're about to play. And I just don't think that they're going to get it done this series either. And unless they can figure it out. And granted, they have, the guy they traded for coming in tonight. He can probably close maybe tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. But like Chiefs King said here, I think it's a possibility we get swept. I really do. I don't see, if they keep playing the way that they're playing now, I don't see the Phillies winning any games coming up. Because it's the Yankees, then the Mariners, then you go over to the West Coast to play the Dodgers, which the Dodgers series is going to piss me off because those are very late games. They don't start playing until 10 o'clock at night. So those are going to be some fun series. And even the Mariners, they don't start playing until 10 o'clock at night either. So, but they got to get it together. Dave's got to make another trade, or this team is going to slowly start sinking, go to the bottom of the division, if that's worst case scenario. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting. I probably am, but
no, like I think where we thought as fans was we thought that they would at least split some of these series. You know what I mean? Like they'd win one, they'd lose one. That was like worst case scenario, coming out of the All-Star break. They are falling flat on their face post All-Star break. Like, this was not in the game plan at all. So for them to, act this way, it's just like, the fuck are you guys doing? Like, that Dodgers series is going to be very, very interesting. We're actually going to be out there for the game on Monday, 2 weeks from tomorrow, I think, or a week from tomorrow, KJ and I, because we are going to happen to actually be out there for my girlfriend's pageant. But point being, I don't want to see the Phillies lose when I'm all the way out there. I don't want to see them fall flat on their face. I don't want to be embarrassed. And hopefully Dave Dombrowski gets that checkbook ready and gets ready to sign somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, I said this for other teams in the beginning of the season, but I mean, we swept the Dodgers. And like, you're now going to their house. Granted, they're still kind of banged up and injured, but you're going to their house. And I just don't see that going over lately, especially after, sweeping them last time. But we'll see what happens. I'm not too happy with this team right now. I'm honestly very irritated at the way some of these games have gone down. So we'll see what happens. And I'm kind of excited to see the closer tomorrow. I really want to see what he's able to do, but we'll talk about that, I guess, tomorrow when it happens. So
tomorrow's a new day.
It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new opportunity. So we'll see what happens. But Phillies lose 4-3 against the Guardians. They lose the series 2-1. And they start a new series tomorrow with the Yankees. I believe tomorrow's game starts at 6:40, which I'm correct. So we'll be back here tomorrow with the post-game show. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But that's all I have. You got anything to add?
Nope. Hopefully they get their ass in gear tomorrow, like you said. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Don't fuck it up, Phillies.
I hope so. But we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And on that note, roll the outro. See you guys.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going, and it's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know.